Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Some Guy Earning Achievements, where I, just some guy, earn achievements. Today our adventure with Vasili and the gang comes to an end as we finally complete the Russian campaign. We begin with the mission Downtown Assault, where we must make our way through the streets of Stalingrad and recapture apartment buildings that have a nasty infestation of Germans, all the while advancing towards City Hall. The mission puts us straight into the action as we advance towards a snowy embankment with occupied buildings either side. Aside from an NG atop one of the buildings, this part wasn't too difficult. One of my comrades could see that I was struggling to shoot at it with my PPSH and nobly sacrificed himself and his rifle to the cause. Once the first building was cleared of Germans, a pesky tank decided to join the fray, and of course it was up to us to destroy it. The explosives were across the way in the other building, so, using a trusty smoke grenade to cover me, I made a beeline for it. Once inside, I thought we would take this opportunity to use the bathroom because we may not get another during the mission, but sadly, there was no toilet paper left. Instead, we picked up the explosives, jumped out the window like an action hero, and were immediately gunned down by some Germans we neglected to shoot earlier. Next time around, we shot a German waiting just outside before once again jumping out the window, and once again we were gunned down by a German. Third time went much better. We shot the two Germans waiting just outside before jumping out the window, but sadly we had issue with the button prompt for planting the explosive. And were gunned down by some Germans again. Fourth time was just right. We shot the Germans, jumped out the window, planted the explosive, destroyed the tank, and had a nice cold pint at the Winchester, all without being gunned down by Germans this time. With both buildings clear and the tank destroyed, it was time to move on. Traversing through the halls, we eventually came upon another occupied building across the street. Inspired by my previous heroics, Dmitri took it upon himself to be the first man out the window, although we opted to wait for my smoke grenade to provide cover. We managed to get right up to the building, and, being the thoughtful person that we are, we brought the Germans a housewarming gift. Apparently though, they already had enough grenades and tried to return them to us, to which we politely declined. With all the apartment buildings cleared, it was time to help our comrades advance towards the German depot to destroy it. Thanks to some conveniently placed MGs, this was relatively easy, and very cathartic. Although we did have to hop off on occasion to make sure we didn't die. Unfortunately, once the depot was destroyed, another pesky tank rolled up to ruin our fun, and unfortunately once again it was up to us to destroy it. Not even Dmitri wanted to lead the charge on this one, and I don't blame him. This was by far the hardest part of the game so far, and easily where we died the most. The tank is in a square section with a blown out building in the middle, occupied by Germans. Not only does the tank drive away from you if you get too close, but the Germans are infinite and will keep respawning no matter how many of them you kill. You need to slowly advance to a point where you can make a dash for the tank and have your comrades cover you in the crossfire. Death by death by death, we slowly learn the patterns of the enemy until, with enough determination, confidence, and a handy smoke grenade, we were finally able to plant the explosives and make it to cover. I felt a great sense of relief knowing that we wouldn't have to plant another explosive on a tank anytime soon, nor did we need the bathroom anymore. With the tank destroyed, our objective was complete, so we headed towards City Hall to begin the next part of the mission. The second part is aptly titled City Hall, where we have to reach, you guessed it, City Hall. We begin by advancing up a street to a courtyard where waves of Germans try to stop us. By now we have the method down pat. Throw a smoke grenade, wait for it to engulf the area, run up and shoot any unaware Germans. And of course, occasionally die to a grenade, because old habits do in fact die hard. The courtyard proves to be a bit tricky as there are plenty of enemies as well as an MG. We did die a fair few times here, but eventually we persevere and make it to the front of City Hall. Only one more group of enemies stand in the way of our objective. With another smoke grenade and our trusty PPSH, we mow through them, and very nearly take out Dmitri in the process, but thankfully the gang don't kick me out on this occasion. Using our last explosive, we blow open a side door and storm the building to complete this part. The final part of the mission is called Comrade Sniper. We begin by clearing the first floor of the building, which goes very well, despite this one German trying to cheese me with a grenade, so we double tap him for good measure. After dropping down a hole to rejoin our comrades, we see one of them succumb to a nasty headache, courtesy of a German sniper. Of course, it is up to us to pick up a nearby rifle and become the titular Comrade Sniper to kill him. One of our comrades, Pavel, uses the old helmet on a stick trick to lure the enemy into shooting. Apparently the German sniper hasn't seen an enemy at the gates and falls for the trick. But it doesn't matter because we completely failed to see where the shot even came from. Should have gone to Specsavers. Thankfully for us, another comrade had his carrots that day and was able to see where it came from. We line up our shot, hold our breath, and miss our opportunity. So we do it all again, and eventually counter-snipe not Ed Harris. With the sniper dead, we carry on to secure the rest of City Hall. Through grenades, the younger brother of the PPSH, and even a Panzerschreck, we clear both floors and successfully reclaim City Hall for the Russians. Only a German counterattack stands in the way of us and the end of the Russian campaign. The game throws everything at you here: soldiers, MGs, half-tracks, and even a tank. It starts off simple enough with enemies advancing across the open terrain, allowing you to lay down the Jude Law and pick them off with the rifle. As the waves are repulsed, the difficulty increases. MGs begin appearing in buildings across the way, which allow German soldiers to enter City Hall while you are focused on taking them out. Thankfully your comrades are competent enough to shoot them, but we certainly wouldn't rely on them to have our back all the time. This part is kind of like spinning plates, as you constantly have to watch for enemies both inside and out, as well as keep an eye on your ammo, which can deplete rapidly for your submachine gun. You also have to be aware of your surroundings and make sure not to shoot your comrades. I guess despite everything we have done up until that point, the gang still doesn't tolerate friendly fire. Towards the end, half-tracks and even a tank will appear, though thankfully we don't have to run up to it on this occasion. Instead, we can use the handy Panzerschreck the Germans left for us. Once enough of them have been killed, the Germans will retreat, allowing us to take some potshots at them as they scurry across the open snow. With one final impassioned speech from our comrade, both the mission and the Russian campaign are finally complete, earning us the achievement Veteran of Fortress Stalingrad. Thank you kindly for watching, and please leave a like or comment if you see fit. I hope you join me again when next time a new campaign begins and a familiar mustache returns.